welcome back to my channel. So I am very excited for today's video because I have a special guest here today. We are talking with Dr. Ben Johnson from Osmosis Skincare. And you guys know I've been in love with this skincare line for over a year now. I've been using it personally. I've seen drastic changes and results with my skin, and I cannot wait to talk to you more in depth.
It's such a pleasure. Yeah, thank you for having me, Brianna.
Sure. So go ahead, you guys. You can explain, your background and everything. I mean, you're such a like. He is so interesting, and his skincare line is so interesting that I know everyone's gonna love it.
Well, yeah. So I mean, we are extremely different, and the only reason that's true is because I'm a physician. I spent several years actually owning clinics. So I had laser clinics. I was doing hardcore chemical peeling, and I just slowly but surely was just seeing what trauma was doing to the skin. And everyone thinks that, oh, the skin gets tighter with trauma and that's the way to go. But it was very clear to me after seeing hundreds and hundreds of patients directly that you shouldn't do that route. You need to encourage your skin to be healthier and to thrive. And the way you do that is by strategies we're about to talk about. But, my background, I'm general practice, and I have been doing formulating and cosmetic skincare now for 20 years. It's been a long time. This is my second company. And this, through all of that growth and understanding, I really looked a lot at ingredients. What were the bottlenecks in skincare that prevented you from actually getting permanent change? So you talked about seeing a lot of change in your skin.
Right.
Permanent change in skincare is completely unheard of. And that was my goal in setting up Osmosis 10 years ago. And that's done through a lot of really cool science.
Right, so basically the thing that I love about Osmosis is that it's not like every other skincare line. It's completely different. It takes more of a holistic approach, and you are all about healing the skin.
Right.
It's not about like temporary fixes. Like you're about healing the skin.
So it starts off, there are certain ingredients that we all know well that are actually never designed to do a whole lot of change in your skin. They're designed to plump it. And so I realized after my first foray in formulating that the entire industry was kind of this, let's plump and do this temporary tightening thing, which is fine, but when you stop the product, all those results go away. So it's kind of a waste of money.
Now, that's the department store skincare.
Yes.
All of that is temporary.
I mean, really, all of it. Like right now, if you went to a skincare meeting, you would hear discussion after discussion about the latest peptide. But I'm here to tell you that most peptides are scientifically proven to not penetrate the skin. So they actually are just designed to plump.
Right.
And plumping's fine. I'm happy with plumping as long as it's not inflammatory. But the real game changer is actually reaching the dermis, reaching the deep epidermis, and creating changes that last, that make your skin healthier.
Right, exactly. And the thing that I love too about this, the thing that really drew me to your line, because if you guys have been with my channel for a while now, about like a year and a half ago, I was told I had rosacea and I had the red skin and the broken capillaries. So that's kind of what started me researching, and that's how I found your line. And the thing that really drew me to your line is it's all about anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is about really just healing and just not creating that, inflammation in your skin.
So the thing about inflammation, and I know many of you probably are at least given advice to go in and get chemical peels and to have these really aggressive treatments because that's going to create collagen. But when you wound the skin and you create inflammation, any collagen that's made is just going to fix the inflammation. Your skin isn't thankful that you just burned it with an acid, It literally is just responding to the trauma. And so what we recognized was if we could feed the skin in unique ways that address what I call the bottlenecks in aging, the skin actually will reverse aging, and it'll do it permanently. So you'll actually rebuild your collagen layer. You'll actually heal areas like broken capillaries and enlarged pores and a lot of things that normally skincare just doesn't do. I'll just jump right into like the bottlenecks.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So the first thing I would say about Osmosis is that the main problem with skincare today is penetration. And what I mean by that is the average skincare line gets 2 to 5% of their active ingredients deep into your skin. Very little of it's making it. So my first strategy was let's create a delivery system. And I looked around the world for all the technologies out there. The pharmaceutical companies, which we all know, billion-dollar companies, they invested heavily in liposome delivery. So I bought this huge, $150,000 pharmaceutical device that compresses what we call liposomes into the smallest molecule they can be, and we wrapped them in this special lipid called phosphatidylcholine, which actually is what your cell walls are made of. So the same material that's driving this product into your skin is the same material your skin needs to help
So your
heal
body's
cells.
accepting it. Your body can recognize it and it accepts it in.
Exactly.
Right.
And so the bulk of our formulas have some delivery mechanism designed to reach the deep epidermis and the dermis, because that's where you need it to reach to make collagen. So for example, a lot of people that, they think, well, collagen is my number one goal. Well, yeah, it should be, but where your skin makes collagen is in the dermis. That's that second layer down in your skin. And so if you're going to stimulate these cells in the dermis, they're called the fibroblast, you need to reach them, right? You can't do it if your products are just getting stuck in the surface.
Yep.
So this liposome delivery is key. One of the things a lot of people talk about is this, our Clear Plus, our
activating mist.
Our activating mist. And the reason why we do that is because each of the formulas is a concentrate, basically. I asked my labs to create formulas that had the least amount of water possible so that you guys would get the highest value in the product itself. And so you need actually some sort of assistance in driving that product in. You'll feel it when you pump it. It's dense. It's a very dense product. It's got that liposome material which has a little tackiness to it.
Right.
And so you need the activating mist to drive it in, but you want it to be that way because you want the most potential active ingredients doing
because
change.
they're so potent. Like your products are so potent, right? So you want that activating mist, and I've tried to explain that before. You want it to work that in with like the massaging, and you want the activating mist to help it penetrate fully into your skin.
Absolutely.
And because it also takes away that tackiness too.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to push, because this is a dense concentrate, you've got to push it into the skin as much as you can, and then the skin will receive it. So what's cool about the liposome technology is research shows it's about a 600% increase in penetration.
Yeah.
So instead of 2 to 5%, it's like 12 to 30% penetration of these active ingredients, and that way you can reach the dermis, you can stimulate the skin. But we should say that, even though it's potent, the whole design is holistic. So I never want to put your skin in a compromised state. For example, we do not use ingredients that will exfoliate you.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people have heard, exfoliation is how you go.
Some people go crazy with the exfoliating.
Every day they're doing scrubs, and let me tell you why that's bad. Your skin builds very carefully, and your skin's so intelligent. Like during this talk right now, our skin's already accomplished 1 million different activities, all in perfect timing. It is so mind-blowingly intelligent. And so for us to go, oh, it's slowed down because it's older, therefore we need to scrub it off, like you're not giving your skin enough credit. So what we recognized was that actually is another wound. Every time you peel layers off, that's not what your skin was. Your skin, you're born with 15 layers of this surface stratum cornea, and you die with that. Like there's no time in your life where you don't have the right number of barrier layers called the stratum corneum. So why would you ever second guess it and go, oh no, my skin would do better with 10. It'll just dehydrate you. It'll increase your sun sensitivity. So the whole goal of our line was to encourage collagen, encourage wound repair, but not sun sensitize you, not inflame the skin.
Which is what I found, when I was going through my rosacea issues was such, like I said, your products just completely changed my skin. Completely, because we're so used to, like you said, just like doing the scrubs and the exfoliating, but when it comes to
and what did your doctor say? Your doctor probably told you, oh, here's an antibiotic.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's all they want to give you is antibiotics and just like these steroid creams or creams that are going to make your skin worse. And
we were talking right before filming about her discovery through sort of our bringing it to her awareness about the digestive connection to rosacea. So the other piece of this story is you can't just bring scientific ingredients to the skin, you have to address the whole picture. In the case of rosacea, in the case for Brianna, she had digestive stuff that when she resolved that, her rosacea got a lot better anyway. So you really
it's like a whole thing. It's like your whole inside, what you put on your skin, it's like that's a whole.
It is. And so when you have an infection in your little toe, every cell in your body knows it. Like everybody's operating in this uniform pattern, and so the healthier we make your body, the healthier your skin will be.
Right.
And that's why you see people, they might walk up and you're like, boy, their skin's a bit of a mess. Well, that's because most likely their immune system's off. And so if you don't address both things, which is the whole osmosis philosophy, you're not going to see.
Right, and I've
change.
seen you transform people's skin through, internal and with your products. Like I've seen, videos on you as well that you've shown the transformations that people have undergone, which are just amazing.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. As an MD, I get a lot of flack from my fellow MDs because they're like, "What do you mean rosacea is connected to digestive?"
Yeah, people like dermatologists don't tell you that.
No,
I've been to so many dermatologists and they never say, "Oh, let's work on your diet."
They don't consider it. We've connected, and I don't know which ones we're going to talk about, but we've connected acne to candida and other hormone toxins. We've connected.
Oh, we're going to talk about it all.
Okay, good. We've connected melasma to the liver. We've connected, and we're now, this is a cool thing, and I think you should probably have a place on your website for our face map. Have you seen that?
That's what I want to get into, the face mapping, because it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Your face is a tell. Your body is actually really literal. And so when something is going wrong, there are many times where you see it on your face will tell you where in your body it's happening.
You can pinpoint, which is fascinating. You can pinpoint when something's popping up. If you get a breakout on your forehead, if you get, you can tell where in your body what's going on.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
We could just say right now, like this is large intestine. One of the cool things is that your body actually follows this map similar to how your digestive anatomy lays out. So the back of the throat is the tip of the nose. So you'll see people who maybe drink a little too much hard alcohol, they get red here.
Right.
On the side of the nose, this is acid reflux because you're getting damage here. This is your stomach, this is your small intestine, this is your large intestine.
Yeah.
So you follow that and you realize that, it's easier for people to look at their own skin and do their own map and go, oh, look, I'm having some problem. Like if you wake up in the morning and your eyelids are all inflamed, chances are you have a major stress going on in your life because this is adrenals. So there's a ton of people who think they have eczema on the eyelids and really they're just going through stress. Yeah.
So crazy.
Very rarely, there's going to be people like if you use junky makeup, you can get acne.
Right.
There are going to be those examples where the topical products or the environmental aspect of it caused it.
Yeah.
But we try to address it.
The other thing that I love about the Osmosis products is there's your concept is let's focus on your skin condition first. Let's heal the acne. Yeah. Let's heal the rosacea, and then let's work on the aging as well.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what I find. You're right. I find that is so effective because some people want to kind of try to do it all at once.
Right.
And it's let's just go back, let's correct the rosacea. Your products correct acne so well.
Oh, thank you.
Your Clarify product is, I'm telling you, the best product out there for acne. It is insane.
So here's the thing. If your skin, when were we last producing collagen at the highest rate? It's probably around 20. So somewhere between 20 and 25, our skin starts to lose its ability to create all those things. And what ends up happening for people is that once your skin starts to decline, then everything starts to decline. And if you're building up in toxins, if you have acne, what's going to happen when osmosis steps in and it's going to create a healthy event, which actually will cause a purge of the toxins. So we have to treat the toxicity first because healthy skin gets rid of toxins. Yeah. And if you go to your doctor, for example, for acne or rosacea, they're going to put you on something that suppresses the inflammation, that suppresses what's going on. And we're the opposite because suppressing the skin will make it age faster. So that's kind of the strategy is let's clean up the skin, get rid of the toxins in it, and then we can really push that
because
aging.
acne is coming out as a toxin.
Yes,
and rosacea even that's all kind of toxicity.
Some people have acne rosacea. That is that's caused by candida, is my estimation.
See, that's what I used to have. I would get all the little bumps right in here.
Oh, yeah, you did. So it's all about just making the skin healthier, and detoxing is a big part of it. A lot of people don't know we face 1 million toxins a day. It's a lot of tough stuff our body has to handle. So cleaning up is a big part of it.
Okay, so let's talk about what are some of your favorite osmosis products. Okay. Let's talk about the star products. Honestly, they're all star products, but let's talk about some of your favorites.
I do have a favorite 4, but each one is really targeted for one thing or another. So I'll start with the one I talk about the most. So this is a product called Correct. We also have the stronger version called Renew.
Yeah.
depending on where your skin is at in its healthy phase, you can either tolerate, renew, or you can't. So don't feel bad starting with whatever your skin can tolerate.
Yeah, I started with the Calm when I had rosacea. I started with the Calm.
Yeah.
And this is his vitamin A serums, which I have talked about so much. Your vitamin A serums are like nothing else on the market.
Oh, thank
nothing.
you.
And I try everything. Like they're like completely not like anything else. Because you're getting that like really good dose of vitamin A, but your ingredients are so amazing. The thing that I love about Osmosis as well is that your ingredients are like top notch. They like are science, but then they're natural at the same time, and you kind of combine the best of both worlds.
Well, you have to, at least in my philosophy, because like everyone thinks Retin A, for example, is if you're going to do vitamin A, do the best, Retin A. Retin A is research proven to thin your skin. It destroys your epidermis. This is all in the research. So the fact that they're still prescribing it like they are is crazy.
And, I was using Retin A, and my dermatologist was like, you know, that could be another reason, broken capillaries and stuff, because you're actually damaging the skin at the same time.
Absolutely, it is. And sun sensitizing. I know you were living in California, and here you are using Retin A. So every day you went out, you got maybe twice as much UV damage during that time. So, so the big secret, I'm trying to keep it pretty simple for correct. Is number one, what type of vitamin A you use. So for collagen, the two vitamin A's are Retin A, which we just determined not good for us to use. We like it when our body makes it. And that's where it gets confusing. Is our body does make it, but it doesn't store it. It makes it on demand when it needs it. You need more collagen, it'll convert the vitamin A we use, which is retinaldehyde.
Right.
It'll convert that to Retin A in one step, and that's why retinaldehyde is clinically proven to stimulate collagen.
Now, the retinoic acid, Retin A, do people get such irritation from it because you're actually overloading? Like, you know how you said, like, it doesn't
Well, it is overloading, but it's not because it's too much stimulus. It's not because it's making so much collagen and your skin can't handle it.
Right.
It's actually just because it's so damaging. It's not supposed to be in your epidermis. Retin A is when our skin makes Retin A, it's a really cool story. When our skin makes Retin A, it's used immediately. There's not, it doesn't make an abundance and wait for the next opportunity. So when you put a dollop of it on your face, you're completely changing the physiology in a negative way. And it's just not helpful to the skin, and that's what I was saying about the damage it does to the epidermis. And
it creates inflammation, which you're completely against. So that's why your products, the vitamin A's, are so different, because they're not creating inflammation at all.
They're not. And so the secret to that is because retinaldehyde is as strong as Retin A in stimulating collagen, which is according to the research, you can use small amounts. So we use, 0.075, 0.1, it's a tiny percentage. So retinaldehyde has that one secret, that I'm also driving it in with the liposome, right? So not only am I using a small amount, but now I'm delivering it at a 600% increase, so that it goes through the epidermis, because any vitamin A that sits a lot in the epidermis is going to cause sun sensitivity and inflammation.
Right.
So that's one of the big secrets, but that's not the only secret. Like, you can't, if after hearing me, you might be like, oh, let me go get a retinaldehyde serum. But that alone doesn't do it. So let's get to the bottlenecks.
Yeah.
So the reason why this is it's a good place to start is because it's the most targeted for the bottlenecks in aging. You need it to get to the dermis. So that's a big bottleneck, right? You got to have that penetration reaching the spot where collagen is made. A lot of people don't know that our circulation declines. And so by the time you're 50, I just turned 50. By the time you're 50, you have 25% less circulation in your skin. Because each year you lose a little bit of the capillary flow. And you say, well, why is that a big deal? It's a big deal because that's your food supply. So imagine if you're trying to make collagen, but your skin's short on the nutrients it needs to make it. So we put in here a high dose of a liposome-delivered B vitamin that dilates blood vessels. It's called niacinamide. And I love that ingredient. And it is... so it's a massive amount, just enough to not overflush you, because too much would cause you to be red, but enough to feed your skin in the process. So that's bottleneck number 2, is you've got to feed the collagen manufacturing. And then we have this other great ingredient called asiaticoside. And I don't know if you looked all these up. By the way, she's amazing because, she speaks like a physician or an esthetician, has more knowledge than most of the derms I've talked to be honest. But,
I love ingredients. I'm such an ingredient junkie. I always love ingredients.
Well, and that's why, these people are listening, because you provide that education. So there's this other ingredient in there called asiaticoside. That one recruits fibroblasts. So fibroblasts are the cells that make collagen. It increases fibroblast presence by like 67% according to the research. Then we have this ingredient called chlorella. Chlorella has amazing research about how it stimulates collagen and elastin and improves wound healing and does all these different things. That's in there at doses that no one else uses.
Yeah.
Again, all liposome delivered. You could talk about our L-hydroxyproline. At the end of the day, we have 7 different collagen stimulators in there. None of them hurt the skin.
Yeah.
None of them sun sensitize you.
You can use it morning and night.
Morning, and in fact, I recommend that because you want the food supply to be present all the time. I think the analogy I would say is probably best is someone who's working out. Let's say you're going to the gym, you're lifting weights, you want to build muscle mass, but you go on a protein starvation diet. You're not going to build anything, right? You need to feed the muscle building. Same thing with the skin. You need to deliver the key ingredients that actually create collagen. And that's why this actually does permanently change your face. So the nice thing about it is if you have wrinkles, your wrinkles will keep getting better every month you're on the line. There's no one else out there that is giving that promise. And I've stood behind it for years now, where you will see improvements in your skin every month accumulating.
Yeah,
so what's happening right now in the industry is you'll use a peptide product, or maybe it's another vitamin A that doesn't have penetration, or it's regular retinol, and your skin looks better after a month, and then it plateaus. And then as soon as you stop using the product, it goes away.
Yeah.
So this idea of accumulating change is exciting to me, and it's part of the...
Well, I've had actually so many of my subscribers, use your retinaldehyde, your vitamin A serums,
good.
and they said that they have seen more change and better change with their skin than with these products than they have with their Retin A, which I find fascinating,
Well, eventually, as I said, the research shows Retin A thins your skin by 18% a year.
Yeah.
And it was so
that's why people see more broken capillaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their skin starts to get more and more porous and more red, and the wrinkle looks a little better. And the reason why that is because of the inflammation.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that inflammation, like when you go in and you get a chemical peel, inflammation will make your skin tight that day, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is nice." But it's inflammation. It's not actually making you younger. But again, a lot of people think, oh, holistic means organic, fluffy stuff.
Right, natural. It's not going to work, you know? Yeah.
You need the science. You need the aggressive ingredients that are not harming the skin. And I searched the world for those. And I guess we could probably go to like another product where we use that technology.
Oh, I love this product. I love this one.
This is super exciting to me because stem cells are a big topic. There's doctors injecting them. There's all this hope for what they're going to do for medicine. But on your face, you don't want to use stem cells because that would be gross. That's someone else's fat. You're smushing on your face. So what we use adult human stem cells and fibroblasts, those cells that make collagen, and we feed them in this special way. We nurse them in this lab, and we encourage them to secrete growth factors because we all have growth factors, but every year after age 25, you have 1% less.
Yeah.
So by the time you're 50, you have 25% fewer growth factors. So you need to replace them. If you replace them, the overall wound healing of the skin thrives, and it's so gentle, right? I mean, it can be used on the rosacea person, on every. It's a much more gentle way to go. Like if your skin's really inflamed from some internal imbalance, you don't jump right to correct,
Right, yeah.
But you could jump right to Stemfactor because it does it.
Now, are growth factors for you? That's like one of your must. That's a great must anti-aging ingredients. A growth factor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So 600 growth factors and cytokines. That's the most in the industry. The amount of growth factors in this product it's clinically proved. It's the most clinically proven growth factor product. We did clinical trials on 30 adult women, and we saw changes in a month that were really great. It's what your stem cells are making on the inside. And again, this is just another way to get your skin healthy enough to support itself and reverse its own damage. It's really, I love how gentle it is, and it's always, if you're using our products, one of the secrets is put this on first. So you clean your face, this is the first thing on, and the reason for that is because they're so huge, these growth factors, that they have to go into your pores, and you don't want anything in front of the opening of the pore, like a moisturizer or something else. You want this to go directly in, so just keep that in mind.
Right, so and that's a very light serum compared to some of your other.
Yes.
So this one kind of just
nice.
really goes right in.
Sucks right in, right. Yeah. There's not a lot of additive components there. It's not as dense, for example, as the Correct we were just talking about, which really needs to be worked in This one will sort of just
It kind of just absorbs.
yeah, absorbs right in. So that's one of my top favorites.
You got to talk about this one right here.
Yeah.
This product. This is a life changer. This product right here.
This is the other product where I had the good fortune of meeting a Dr. Herman who passed away recently, but he had spent 2 decades working with this ingredient. This ingredient is called trioxylane. I know why you love it because it's so good for rosacea.
Yeah. This is what got me. I was like so impressed with this.
Yes.
You know, it's the Osmosis Rescue, which again I've talked about so much.
You have?
Oh my gosh, it's the best product. I've been using it for over a year now.
What makes it unique is that this unique stabilized oxygen that's in there, the skin will use to repair oxidative damage. So you say, well, when do I have oxidative damage? Well, that's the stuff that the sun causes. So when you use it on age spots, for example, it's the only product I've ever seen that will permanently make an age spot disappear. So if you're someone, let's say in your 30s or 40s, and you're just starting to see age spots show up on your forehead because you've got a little too much sun over the years, probably in 2 months, 80 to 90% of those age spots will have completely disappeared. If you use a lightener, like a hydroquinone, which is toxic to the skin, or any natural lightener, as soon as you go on vacation, all that expense and work comes right back.
Yeah.
Because you didn't heal the source. And so what I learned about age spots was there's a wound in your skin that is triggering this protective mechanism. So an age spot is actually protecting you. So it's another weird thing about our industry is here we are trying to basically strip away like a scab. If you think of a scab if you had a cut on your face and there was a scab, you wouldn't want to pick the scab off.
Yeah.
Same thing is true with an age spot. It actually literally is this protective cloud of melanin that sits above your wound, and it actually makes you, it's trying to protect you from more damage, basically. So you use this rescue, and what it does is it heals the wound.
Yeah.
So then the skin stops making more melanin, and in the case of rosacea, it calms the inflammation and
redness, like the redness.
Yes, the redness
subsides like right away. It's just so calming, and
it's just texture too. It'll actually heal the texture. So you say, well, why is it that when, let's say some of you are 60 years old and you're starting to see your skin have this sort of fine wrinkling effect? Well, that's because of the accumulation of damage from the sun. And so if you can use this molecule and heal that damage, you'll permanently reverse your texture. And so that's where I get excited.
And pores. I feel like this makes a huge difference with pores.
Pores are another sign of damage.
Yeah.
So think about your surface layer. The one we see is called the epidermis. And the birthplace of that is this thing called the DEJ, dermal epidermal junction. We're getting a little too wonky, but
no,
okay.
get into it, yeah.
So it's the layer in between that surface layer, the epidermis and the dermis, is called the DEJ. It's like the uterus of your skin, and so it's constantly producing these cells 24/7. Like your skin's amazing, working all the time, right? Well, if you keep hitting that DEJ with the sun and it doesn't heal, every part of your epidermis sheds except for that part. So that part is the one accumulating damage. And so when you fix it, it actually will start creating a healthy layer again. And so enlarged pores, texture changes, all those things are related to an unhealthy DEJ, and that's
so
what makes it
interesting.
so
Now
exciting.
the Osmosis Rescue, I mean, that's one of my favorite osmosis products. Is that really a product that anyone can use? Like acne, it's amazing for acne, I know.
It is, it's great.
Rosacea, aging, so really it's kind of like a...
It's kind of, and so what I tell people is, this is why I like you to use 4 of our main serums, but I know that can be expensive, so sometimes you have to target it. So I say, for the people where age spots, texture, pores, or redness are your main thing, Rescue is the first most important thing you're going to put on your skin.
Right.
And then, depending on how much you want to work on wrinkles or tightening, elasticity, then you start to shift to other products.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So question, because I'm kind of curious. So say I'm using the Rescue and the Stemfactor, which do you put on first?
Stemfactor always
So
first.
always Stemfactor first.
Yeah.
And then, okay, interesting, perfect.
Yeah, because it won't get in the way of the Rescue. And the Rescue is another one that's not a really dense product.
Right.
It doesn't need a delivery system. It's a small molecule. And it's oxygen, so it actually it's actually a lipid. So it actually has its own natural absorption property. So it's a lipid carrying these little oxygen repair molecules on it. And now it smells funny. It smells kind of like
I always get
ozone.
comments about that, but I love the smell of it now because I love the product. So
Exactly, you do.
You actually end up like liking it.
That's true. That is true, and so it's one of my favorites for sure.
So another question about layering, because people always ask me about layering your products too. So okay, so you want to do Stem Factor first. What if you're using a vitamin A and like your Rescue? What's the correct order with those?
There's two rules of thought, or rules of thumb. One of them is that you use the product that is the most important. What is the thing in your skin you want to change the most? Use that first, right? So let's say your H-spots is number one. I'm going to use Rescue before I'm using Correct. But to be honest, because I'm finding I have like equal needs in all categories, I end up just cocktailing them all.
So you just mix them, okay. I just started doing that.
So you put Stem Factor on, and then I cocktail Rescue, Correct, and then Catalyst is the final piece of this foursome that
I was gonna say that has to be the next product. And people have said to me, oh, but my skin like feels tacky with some of these products. That you don't need a lot of product. If you find that your like skin stays tacky, then you're probably using too much, right?
Great point.
Yeah.
There's another piece that's really an interesting little thing I've learned over the years, which is a lot of times when people shift off to what they were using, and let's say it was a little bit more traumatic, your skin actually becomes protective and defensive, and it won't let things penetrate in as well. So a lot of times people using our product, they find the first couple of weeks the penetration isn't as good, and then by the time they're a month into it, then it absorbs much better. So keep in mind if you're seeing that. Now, if you're somebody who after a month is still feeling like it's not penetrating, use less. Absolutely.
Yeah, I find you just need such a small amount to really massage in. So we have to we'll talk about the Catalyst next, because these are just incredible as well, and I have them both here.
Yes, okay.
There's two different ones.
Oh yes, you do. You have Catalyst Plus and Catalyst AC11.
I got them both.
And I have to admit, I mean, I lean towards the Big Mama, which is Catalyst AC11, only because if people look up Catalyst Plus, they'll see, oh my gosh, it's got 20% vitamin C. How is it for sensitive skin? You probably used it first,
right?
Because you had rosacea,
right? Which
I do recommend. If you have sensitive skin, until we get your skin up and healthy enough to push to the next level, Catalyst Plus is better. I'm going to focus on AC11.
Because honestly, even when I had more sensitive rosacea skin, I did. Like, I actually started with the Catalyst Plus, and I'm like, you know what, let me just try it out. Let me go to the AC11. My skin was fine. So.
Yeah, and so AC11 is totally gentle in one sense. And here's my trick. So a couple of cosmetic tricks. Number one is vitamin C is essential. This is your vitamin C product, in my opinion, because what we're doing is we're not just putting the vitamin C in there, we're putting something called AKG. And this is an alpha ketoglutarate is the long name for it. But why is that ingredient exciting to me? Because everyone thinks vitamin C, the reason why it's good for you is it's an antioxidant. That's not why I love it. I love it because what vitamin C does is it makes your amino acids sticky enough to make collagen. So every time we're trying to make something, the reason why people get scurvy is because when they're short of vitamin C, their amino acids can't stick together anymore. And so the whole idea behind this product was to get the amino acids, which are already in here, to already be active when you put it on your skin. So it's so quick to generate the activity. But in general, the reason why we're using this is because of its DNA repair properties. So what's cool about this is we did a clinical trial on it. We saw 110% increase in elasticity. We saw eyelids tightening. We saw broken capillaries disappearing. So I don't know, how many, do you have a lot of customers who talk about the broken capillaries?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot. Yep.
So there's two kinds of broken capillaries. There's the rosacea kind. By the way, none of them are broken. It's all the skin.
So interesting. And this is this is the first thing I found with you guys is the whole concept of broken capillaries. They're not like technically broken.
Right.
They're just there to heal the skin.
Yeah. So imagine if what happens, and a lot of people will see them show up after a sunburn or after a chemical peel. And what's happening is your skin said, oh my gosh, you've created a wound in this particular area that is so significant. I need extra blood flow to go to it to feed the healing of it. But it never quite gets enough nutrient activity to heal. That's why they stay. Right? You end up, and so what's exciting about Catalyst is that when you put it on, and I also like to do face masks. I don't know if you've ever tried that.
No.
So like 5 pumps of it, you leave it on your skin, really work it in, and then leave it on for like an hour.
Right.
And then it will intensely heal something. So
wow, I've never tried that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, no, I love it. And it's really tightening as well. So imagine that if you put the right nutrients into the skin, in a way that triggered the healing process. This is why broken capillaries will disappear in a month. Like our clinical trial showed a 67% improvement in capillary healing.
Which is insane because those suckers don't go.
They don't go. Usually people are going and getting a laser.
Right.
But see, why I would say don't go get a laser is because your skin's not broken. It's literally trying to heal something. And so if you shut it down with a laser, it won't heal it. So what is interesting about Catalyst is the opposite approach. Let's accelerate the wound healing so then the skin doesn't need the capillary anymore.
And then it goes away.
And it just goes away.
Right. So
now, unless it's rosacea, right? If it's rosacea, then we're actually trying to heal the source of that increased inflammation, and this is a little bit different. And so, other things in the catalyst, there's an ingredient called AC11, which is clinically proven to accelerate DNA repair. There's a technology called zinc finger technology, which is just a fancy way of saying that we want to make the vitamin C as active as we can, and the way again you do that is you bring in those amino acids. See, there's 3 amino acids your skin thrives on. It's proline, lysine, and glycine. They're the core of elastin and collagen, and they're in there. They're activated by the C that's in there. This formula is so funny because it's been a nightmare for us from a production standpoint. It'll literally bubble and expand for a month after we make it.
Really?
It blew the lid. Like, we'll get the shipment in from the lab and the lid will be blown off the top. We've lost huge batches of it.
Yeah.
You might have been, you guys might have all suffered from a back order, but a few months ago, all because of that. So it's extremely active, and I feel
like there's nothing like this on the market. Like, I feel like the ingredients are so unique to this that there's just nothing like this product.
Well, it is, and we have a patent on this one as well. The idea behind it is intense repair, but for some reason, this is our elastin focus. So this will create the most. So if your issue is laxity, then this is the product for you.
Yeah.
This is the product that makes skin tags fall off. This is the product. One of my favorite stories, which I can't believe doesn't get more traction. This is the only product in the world that reverses acne scarring.
I wanted to touch on that. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
Because it is, and
acne scarring is so impossible. People text me all the time and they're messaging me and they're like, I have acne scars. What I've tried so many things from the dermatologist and nothing helps.
Oh, it's true, and there's been nothing. So what does the dermatologist tell you? And again, I believe they're doing the best that they know. The key, the secret here that you're hearing from me, and you're saying I've never heard a doctor talk like this. The secret is just thinking a little bit broader.
Yeah.
We get so stuck in medical school where it's like this is the medication you prescribe and this is how you treat it, but we never really treat anything. We're just treating the symptoms.
Yeah.
And so, if you start thinking outside the box, you start thinking differently. So with acne scarring, the dermatologist says, well, let's laser it, right? And all they're trying to do is get rid of the red. They're not trying to make the scar itself reactivate, start working and healing again. And that's ultimately what an acne scar is. It's healed poorly and it's scarred down. And so this formula uniquely reactivates it. So usually I say 30 to 50% improvement in acne scarring.
Which is incredible. Incredible if you have acne scars. Yeah.
And sometimes if it's that ice pick scarring, the deep scarring, no, this can't get to that. But the surface, the more shallow stuff.
Right.
But this is another one of those products that so intensely increases skin activity that you'll start purging toxins if you haven't treated your acne source. So a lot of people start thinking about their acne scar before they've healed their source of their acne.
Right.
Let me remind you, this can do that.
So this can actually make you purge.
This will purge. Some people, if you may notice for the first couple of weeks, and this is a good little side tidbit, that your pores get bigger, that you have more blackheads. You're like, what's going on that this is making more blackheads? And
I've actually had some people ask me that. They'll say, I just started the osmosis and I'm getting some blackheads.
Yeah.
And that's, I always say, that's completely normal.
Good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's usually about a 2-week process. You're cleaning house, essentially, was what is happening. And it's part of the wound healing process. You can imagine if you wanted to repair a home, let's say you're doing a renovation, you got to clean up the clutter before you can fix what's broken, and that's essentially what Catalyst is doing. So don't be alarmed if you see the pores bigger or the blackheads for a couple of weeks. Completely normal. And so it's again one of those ones that you just want as part of your arsenal.
So who should be using the Catalyst AC? I mean, is that a product for anyone, really?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's anyone over 30 is probably going to want it. Anyone with acne scars, anyone with capillary damage. It's working on wounds that the other ones are not working on, right? So you've got the A Serum Correct and Renew that are focused on collagen and feeding the skin. You've got this focused on enhancing wound healing and DNA. You've got this fixing the surface damage. And I want to emphasize, all of this is permanent. Like, that's different. You won't find a product out there that actually says we're going to make broken capillaries disappear. You know, so how do we say all this? How do we do all this? Again, it was just with a basic intention of, let's just make the skin as strong as it used to be when we were young. And so what was missing in those days? We had food, like nutrients, specific nutrients that were missing. For example, these amino acids in here, you develop a shortage as you get older. So it's feeding that process.
Well, I want to mention, let's mention one more product because like I just truly love this product. The Clarify. Because this is the vitamin A serum as well, but this is mainly for acne prone people.
It is, but I do have a ton of people who use it as their aging acne. This will do that. You know, this does handle. It has several ingredients in it that are designed for aging, but it is specifically for acne. It's designed to detox the skin in a unique way. So if you have a big cyst, this is excellent at accelerating.
I can't get over the fact, like, I will spot treat with this as well.
That's
and it makes breakouts go away so fast.
It's really
incredible.
Something.
I mean, benzoyl peroxide, so like toxic and damaging to your skin. So this is a product, I swear, I recommend this to anybody who has acne because it will make your acne go away. Your skin just looks amazing then, and it's so fast.
So a quick understanding of acne is, I generally believe you treat acne from the inside out. This will treat acne from the outside, but only for this understanding. That imagine for a second that everything you ever heard about acne wasn't true. That in fact, all of the reason why your skin develops these red bumps is because it's detoxing. It's literally pushing toxins out through the face. Why through the face? Sometimes it's the chest or the back, but it's always a detox. So when you're using Clarify, it's specifically designed to encourage that. So some people who have, remember, everybody retoxes at a certain rate. So if you're somebody who gets a lot of acne all the time, Clarify will keep purging you. It won't be perfect for you. It's the people that have milder acne where this will eventually clean house, and maybe it'll take a couple weeks of a few minor purges, and then you'll stay clean because it'll constantly keep the detox in your face in a timely fashion. But I still recommend everybody look at that internal piece.
To really heal from the inside.
Yeah, to heal, because the toxins are coming from somewhere. And so depending on where on your face, and I don't know.
We're going to talk about that in the next video. We're going to do a whole thing on face mounting.
All right, I won't go into it too much right now.
But basically, you want to, you know, acne, it starts from the inside as well. Most people don't realize that too. They go to the dermatologist and they slap creams on, you know.
Right, antibiotics, which is actually
worse. It's going to make your skin worse.
She knows. I mean, I'm telling you, and it kind of boggles the mind because, you know, we put physicians on a pedestal typically in our society, and so when you go to your skin specialist dermatologist, you oftentimes hear, no, this is what you need, and you take it to heart. They must know. They're looking at all this research. But no, so you just have to.
But then you're back at the dermatologist 6 months later after your antibiotics, and your skin's back to crappy again, you know?
Or you're worse.
So
you just know that the pharmaceutical companies have so invaded Western medicine that you can't, it's hard for a doctor to see straight. They get brainwashed with the FDA approved stuff when in fact it's almost all harmful. Like we've all seen the commercial. You can't watch any TV show without seeing 10 drug commercials. And what do they tell you? Oh, you know, you may get bloody diarrhea.
Yeah,
or
the
die
side effects
tomorrow.
are like, exactly.
And so, you know, we know these things are working. So what is holistic to me? Holistic means you're using real medicinal things that work with the body. Whereas most prescription medications are actually working against something. They're blocking some natural mechanism. And remember, our skin's intelligent. It doesn't want to be blocked. It hurts us to be blocked.
But before we wrap up this portion of the video, let's talk about these really quickly. Because he just came out with 4 brand new products that are, I'm in love.
Oh yeah, you already got them.
I've got them, of course.
You got them fast.
Yes. So let's talk about them because they're all kind of like moisturizing for the skin.
Well, here's the thing. I live in Colorado, so you know, the people are always complaining of dry skin. I don't know if you're always in a humid area, so you probably don't hear that as much. But the truth is that when your skin is perfectly healthy, you don't need a moisturizer. Like we don't see our kids running around going, "Oh, I need a moisturizer," because their skin is so healthy. It's providing the lipids and the moisture that it needs. But through, you know, sometimes it's internal deficiencies, sometimes it's you're using too aggressive the scrubbers. Like many of you may be scrubbing your face every day. That will cause dehydration, and then you need that moisturizer. So the idea here was there's a certain segment of our Osmosis fan base that needed a little bit less oil removed when they cleaned their face. So that's the Lift Away Cleansing Balm. It's
so it's
a non-foaming, more of an like an oil-based cleanser, which is
you can wash, you cleanse your skin, but it's left feeling so hydrated and nice. Yeah, and it just it's like a balm. It's like a balm texture. It's amazing if you have dry skin, mature skin.
It is. So it's not for me. I'll tell you. I rarely ever use that because you know, I don't have that, and you know, my skin is naturally staying hydrated. But for so many people, especially when you were first in your rosacea phase, this would have been
so
maybe
gentle
even better.
and so nice.
And so that one is going to be a fan favorite for that segment. If you're one of those and your skin's always dry, you will love.
So amazing. I used it the other night because, of course, I test everything out, and it feels so beautiful on your skin. It's just hydrating, but you feel clean. I love it. Like that's going to be great. Dry, mature skin, you're going to be like obsessed with that cleanser.
Now, if you like foaming and all of that, they won't foam. So that's where I'm like.
But we don't want foaming because foaming is which we'll get into ingredients later.
Surfactant. Well, I mean, you want the right surfactants, but we still foam, like our Purify cleanser, all these things are foam.
But that's not foaming from like
sodium lauryl sulfate, some of those ingredients.
Right, exactly. So
it's all about the ingredient, you know, and we can dive into that.
Yeah, we'll do that in our. We have a whole other video coming.
Stay tuned. So the next one is going to be amazing for people with inflamed skin. It's called Remedy. I actually made this in my old line and brought it back around because it was just a missing piece in the Osmosis picture. So people who are super inflamed, if they're coming off a procedure, if they accidentally went in and burned their face with a chemical peel, don't do it. This is a Remedy is amazing to heal the skin. Is
that a mask?
It's a treatment. You can do both.
Okay.
You can leave it on for a little while because it is heavy. Like it's gonna leave your skin feeling a little greasy. There's a lot of shea butter in there.
Right.
So it is. It's not necessarily designed for daily use.
Right.
But I'm always amazed at the people with really dry skin, what oils they can put on their face and you can't even tell.
Right. It's so true.
Exactly. It in.
Right.
So that may be one for you, but
it's good for inflammation and
like
healing.
eczema. I talked about eczema on the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good for the inflammation. And you know, we talk about Rescue. Combine Rescue and Remedy if you have super inflamed skin, and you will be shocked at how well it works. So I'm super excited about Remedy.
Awesome.
Enrich is our heavy moisturizer. Well, and there's an ingredient in there that not many people know about. It's I'm trying to remember the actual chemical name. Is not the chemical name. The trademark name is kind of funny, but it's Swerdia. Gosh, it's from. I learned about it from a French research that was done recently, and I can't remember now that last. But Swerdia is the key active in there, and what it does is it builds up collagen in the epidermis. So there is a it's not just a moisturizer. It actually is building in the skin, so it's a nice add
so
to
it's
it.
a good nighttime treatment.
So,
and then the Nourish, the
Nourish,
the facial oil.
Okay, so I spent a lot of time looking at different oils and different oil properties, and we just did this combination of oils in there. But the fun part for me is, if you heard much about my internal wellness, I'm big into frequency medicine, like energy for the skin. You know, we're all made up of energy, which we'll talk about in a video coming shortly. But we put frequencies in that oil.
Oh, is there? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
And so I have...
makes it even better.
Yeah. So when it drives in, what's nice about this is that oil will sit there and it'll hold those frequencies in your skin for several hours, and it's very therapeutic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is really awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah. So if you run dry, which I don't think you run dry.
No, I'm more combo.
So you may or may not be a Nourish user. Nourish doesn't play well with liposomes. So if you're using Nourish and Correct, make sure you've really driven in the active serums first, and then you do Nourish as
and
a
then you
last
put the facial
add.
oil on at the end.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that kind of wraps up our first little segment here, introducing
Alright.
Dr. Ben Johnson here and his products. But stay tuned because we are going to do a whole question and answer where we're going to kind of dive into like the face mapping and some other questions as well. And yeah, and then we'll talk about the frequency waters as well.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thanks for hanging in there.
Yep. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.